us today. We are so honored to have with us actress Christine Horn. Christine, thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you. Thank you for having me. Hello, everybody.
So, one of the things that I was extremely impressed with when it comes to you, Christine, is the depth and the breadth of the things that you have going on. Actress,
Yes.
Director, writer, producer, stage actor. You're involved with life coaching and helping other people and making such a positive impact.
Yeah.
Harriet Tubman on Timeless. How was that? What was that experience like for you playing such a pivotal historic figure?
Wow. It was really, first of all, an honor. When I found out I got the job, I was so just grateful because it's pretty much a bucket list role for any African-American actress, just to be able to have the opportunity to play such an iconic American hero and everything that she's been through and how she risked her life. And the script was written really well and it had an amazing director, John Showalter. And they just gave me the freedom in the room to connect to this character. And my goal was really to just bring a humanity to her and show, we know she's a badass. We know she's done so many things, but I also wanted to show her vulnerable side and maybe the parts of her that were scared or nervous, but still knowing that she had to do what she had to do for her people. And so it was just really epic. And the fans of Timeless are amazing. They call themselves clock blockers, and they were just so supportive and showed so much love. So I was really honored to be on the show before it went off the air.
So as you think back about, where you're at so far in all of the roles that you've had, are there some other experiences that really stand out to you or other things that have been really memorable for you on this journey so far?
Wow, that's a great question. I think some of the memorable highlights were certainly when I got to finally perform on Broadway in 2008 with The Lion King, getting to go to the White House. I know we talked about that, going to perform for George W. Bush. Like, that was epic for me. Like, this is Secret Service. I'm going to the White House. I think getting to meet some of my favorite artists, getting to work with Adam Sandler and Drew Barrymore and just seeing them up close and working with them and sharing space and time with them was really just an honor. And I think every time as I grow more with my career, I'm just amazed at the types of characters that come to me. So I'm really just excited about what the future holds.
One of the other things that I wanted to ask you about is, you have, because I want to make sure we capture this, you have made such a positive impact on the lives of people across the world, people who tune in, who follow you, who take part in the interactive communication that you have set up through initiatives like Make Yourself Famous and Actors Daily Bread. Could you talk a little bit about how you started that and what that means to you?
Oh, yes. Thank you for asking. When I moved back to Los Angeles, top of 2017, I found myself just gravitating toward more actors, and people would say, well, how do you do this? Or can I get any advice about this? And I just remembered being in Los Angeles and Hollywood the first time, after I finished Las Vegas, the Las Vegas company of Lion King. That was around 2011-ish, I think. And I remember that feeling of not being ready, not knowing what I was doing wrong. No one would help me. It's like people kept the secret sauce, so the secret to success to themselves. Like, once they figured it out, they didn't, share. And that really just was so frustrating. So I saw that there was a need, and I actually told my husband, Garland, I said, I want to do some kind of video series. I don't know what I should call it, but I just want to pour into actors and let them follow my journey and teach them what I can from my experience. And he said, what about Actors Daily Bread? Because you're feeding them bread. I was like, I love that. So he gets all the credit for that name. But it turned into, the first week, I didn't know what I was going to talk about. But what started to happen, Dave, was actors started coming out of the woodworks. People who were really green, had no idea where to start. Maybe acting was some far away secret dream they had, burning in their belly, but they didn't tell anybody. Or maybe they were advanced and didn't know how to get to their next level. They were all in their head, which we can all relate to. And so I just started showing up. I just started showing up for myself. It served as a way to be accountable for myself and to my community. And it's been over a year or so later, and the community has grown into what we call the Hollywood bound actor community, my little sign there. So that's a whole separate community that came out of that. And so I streamed the videos live on Facebook, and then I'll do them on YouTube. And now I'm doing them live on YouTube as well. And so if you are an actor who comes to that page, you're going to be inspired. You know, my whole methodology, I tell people, is Yamama: mindset, acting, marketing, and auditioning. And you need all of those to succeed in this town and in whatever market you're working in. And so I just figured if I just kept showing up, people would be impacted. And when I tell you, it feeds my heart. It humbles me when I get emails and text messages from clients who didn't know where to start. They were working their 9 to 5, busy mom, busy dad. And now they see themselves on television. And it's because I got the chance to walk them through just those first few steps. They can go on and grow and be with another coach or another class. But being a part of so many people's lives really is, I'm so grateful. And honestly, I just feel like I'm living my purpose. And I get that beautiful balance of getting to perform and act as a full-time career, but then being able to give back. And I think that's what life is all about, teaching people what you learned. And I tell people all the time, look, it's not my way or the highway. I'm just sharing my way, the way I do things and the way it worked for me. It may work for you, maybe not. So it's really, I'm looking forward to seeing how it grows in this new year.
Well, congratulations on all of the things that you're achieving, and not only for yourself. I mean, we're obviously seeing you in so many key roles. I know we talked about Harriet Tubman and the role that you played on The Good Doctor, and the list goes on. And I know you have a bunch of things. I checked your IMDb page, and you've got a whole slew of things that, at least the ones that I've even been able to see that are captured there on IMDb, you've got a whole bunch of things coming up. What's ahead in 2019 for you?
2019. Well, my word, some people pick words for the year. My word for the year is domination. And for me, that's just dominating my craft, my mindset, my business, my career. And, but as far as projects, I'm excited about Triple Frontier. That's a feature film on Netflix with Ben Affleck and Charlie Hunnam. Got to shoot that in Hawaii, which was amazing. Miracle Workers will finally come out on TBS. It's a new comedy. I got to play on that show. I'll be guest starring on Lethal Weapon in a few months, I'm sure. I have to look at the air date. And there's another Netflix show called What If with Renee Zellweger. I'll be on that as well. And of course, Bosch, recurring on Bosch season 5 as Zazie Little. So that's what I know so far. And I'm, pilot season's getting ready to fire up here. So I'm really excited and just being very intentional about the work that I want to continue to do, work that inspires me, work that I will not be embarrassed about in the future, so just, I'm excited for everything to come, and I'm just going to keep doing the best work that I know to do.
You bring up a good point, and you touched on it a little bit. I wanted to just talk with you about that process of selecting roles. I know when we've talked in the past, you've talked about how when you started, maybe you were in that mode where you were stacking up those roles and getting those experiences and being, having those as part of your journey. Now that you've done that, and now you can really, as you said, take a look at those roles that you're going to be really proud of, that are special for you. What are some of the things that you try to look at or look for, Christine, when you're presented with a new opportunity?
Well, for me at this stage, and you're absolutely right, I actually just taught a webinar the other day for my students, and I told some of them that they're in a season of stacking, which I love that you remembered that. And so, we pay our dues and we take whatever job we can in the beginning just because we need experience and we need credits. But at this stage, though I'm certainly still striving to get to my next level, I look for characters that are challenging. Certainly, sometimes you just take a job for the check, but I'm at a place where I will not accept a job that feels demeaning or degrading, just things that are gratuitous just for the sake of it. You know, it's not like I have a problem with nudity or using curse words. It's all about like how it's done and how it's written into the script. What kind of layers do these characters have? Are we just totally playing into stereotypes, or is there something beneath the surface? You know, like not just another cop or another hooker or something, hooker number two. You know, like we can do so much more. And so I'm really open to those roles. And I love that now, especially with television, diversity has been such a huge thing. And so it's no longer just this role is only African American or only Caucasian or only Latina. Like most roles are like any ethnicity. And I love that the industry now is seeing that anybody could be a good doctor or a good cop or a good lawyer. And if they can tell the story in a great way. So that's how I read, you know, and I read scripts when they come in, and usually there's a gut feeling or gut excitement, and I'll jump on it. And when I find myself procrastinating and not really wanting to tape or study, I have to dig deeper. And I'm like, I don't really like this character, or I don't really like this script, you know, and then I go from there, because I don't want to be, you know, because I don't want to happen to book something that I don't really care for. And I'm stuck in a series regular role for, you know, 7 years playing a character I absolutely detest, you know. So there's that fine line of doing what you need to do for your craft and for your sanity and for the paycheck. So it's like balancing all of those.
And I know, as we've talked before, a big part of your sanity and your support system is your husband, Garland.
Yes.
How did you guys join this path together, and what's that been like to share this journey with Garland?
Garland, yeah, he is so supportive. He's not an actor, thankfully. He's spent years in hospitality and bartending, and he has great aspirations to be a chef. He's an amazing cook. We both love to cook. But we dated about 17 years ago, and of course there's three sides to every story: his, hers, and the truth, right? But for me, we dated for about a year and just went our separate ways. I cut him off. I was like, you're not ready. But we stayed friends and for many, many years. And when we reconnected, you know, we got married in 2014. It was just felt very natural and not effortless, because every, you know, relationships are work, but he was just like a friend who understood me, understood my goals, and just was very supportive. So when I had the conversation with him about 2 years ago that I was highly considering needing to move to Hollywood to go to my next level, he was like, okay, we got to do what we got to do. And has every day been easy? No, it's hard. He left everything he knew, friends, family, you know. It was hard getting a job when he got here. So we've had those roadblocks just in like normal people, but more than anything, that support. So after a long day or a bunch of auditions or a bunch of no's or not getting some gigs, you know, he is there to support me and I'm there to support him.
And that means so much to journey together and to support each other. And that's fantastic that you guys have such a strong relationship and such an encouraging relationship where you guys are able to share that road together.
I'm grateful for that. Absolutely. And he's a great reader. He helps me with all my auditions. Everybody doesn't have a great in-house reader, so I'm really grateful for that as well.
That's awesome. That's really cool. So as you look to the future, I know we talked about 2019. Are there other things that are on your bucket list that you wanted to talk about?
Yeah, you know, I'm really excited about producing future work. That's something I'm looking into, especially this year. I think I spent most of 2018 settling in after the move and building my business. So 2019 for me and beyond is also about creating more opportunities for myself as for Christine, the actor, and producing and writing more and networking with people to create some amazing projects. I'm really excited about my live event that I do for actors called Hollywood Bound Actors Live. I did the first one last August in Atlanta, Georgia, and I want to make that an annual thing. So I'll definitely be doing it again this year. I'm actually going to Atlanta very soon to scout some locations, and I'm excited to see how that will grow. I intend for it to be an annual conference that is highly respected and attended by actors nationwide. I'm excited for future books. I'm working on my next book, The Actor's Guide to Becoming a Booking Magnet. So lighting the fire up under my butt to finish that very shortly. And, and perhaps maybe releasing more music. I haven't released music in a quite some time. I have 2 albums out on iTunes, but sometimes you just have to pick a lane and really ride it out for focus, because I'm really good at being multi-passionate and I don't like getting distracted. So perhaps maybe some of that. And on a personal note, just traveling more. I love to travel. A bucket list trip for me is Egypt. I want to take a picture in front of the pyramids myself, and I just travel and enjoy life. I know so much of this is a grind, and our industry works in chunks of time. These 3 months, this season, and you got episodic and pilot. And so a lot of times our time doesn't feel like our own. So I want to make sure the time that I do have is well spent and spent with family and friends, and bringing more joy into my life on a consistent basis.
That's fantastic. As we've talked in the past, you have so many different diverse talents. And I know you just touched on producing and writing and your music. And by the way, love your music that you've done in the past.
Thank you.
Yeah, absolutely. Super talented all the way around. You have so many different gifts and so many different things that I'm sure that you have outlets for, and different things that you'd like to continue to do. And I know it's hard to kind of really capture the essence of how you get it all done, but in general, how do you organize yourself to try to apportion out time to help you pursue these different things? And again, I know it's a big, big thing. It's not something we can just probably boil down into 30 seconds, but how do you, in general, what's your approach?
I have to, again, like I said, I'm very multi-passionate, and I can tend to be like, oh, I'm going to do that. Oh, I'm going to do that. Oh, I'm going to do that. But what I found, you see that as a negative, but what I have learned, in order for me to complete something, I feel most successful when something gets crossed off my to-do list. So what has worked for me is to create 30-day goals for things and just kind of go from there. Okay, for the next 3-4 weeks, I'm only working on this or that, because it's like Parkinson's law, things will take as long as you say they're going to take, right? And so I know if I give myself 6 months to do something, I probably won't get to it right away. So that's how I just chunk things out. And I take advantage of the times where I'm feeling really excited about something. Like right now, I'm really excited about Spanish again, after putting it down for 6 months. So instead of like, I used to beat myself up about that, like, man, you didn't finish. If you look how far you would have been. That's like, no. If I'm all in right now, then I'm going to be just all in and see what I can get done in these 3 months. And if I lose interest, I lose interest. I had to just embrace how my brain works. And everybody's different, and it doesn't work for everybody. And my husband looks at me sometimes like, what are you doing now? Like, okay. So I stop even telling him everything. So that's how things get done. So people will look at me or look at the things I do, like, how is this possible? And I must also say, in regards to like my business, I do have 2 part-time assistants who help me out with certain administrative projects or uploading things. So it can also appear that I'm like a spider, or however you want to call it, with arms, tarantula with arms everywhere. But I do have some assistants on a part-time basis that also helps me with showing up in as many places as possible. But it is a lot. And sometimes sometimes I'm just worn out. That's honest.
Oh yeah. Yeah. And that's, good for you. I mean, that's part of your organizational flair and your kind of mastering your own schedule, is having the foresight to involve some other people to help you organize what you're doing. And so congratulations on that too.
Right. Thank you.
It's really cool to see you build, and to see you sharing your talents in so many different stages and different avenues. one other thing that I wanted to make sure that we capture is you have so much to share, so many gifts, so many experiences, and so many successes that other people can use to kind of help themselves.
Mm-hmm.
What's the best way for people to plug in, to interact with you, to follow what you're doing, and to really learn from your lessons?
Yeah, the best way is, of course, just going online. You know, if you forget anything, you can just Google my name and then everything will pop up. But on Facebook and Instagram is where I spend the most time. And that's actress Christine Horn. And then YouTube. I think YouTube is the best place, especially for some of my newer actors. Maybe their budget's tight, they can't really afford a class or one-on-one coaching with me. I tell people all the time, binge watch, like turn off Netflix and come to YouTube. And my page there is Coach Christine Horn, or you can just put in Actors Daily Bread and everything will come up. And I have, hundreds of videos on there, and I plan on just putting so much more out there. And each video talks about different aspects. I mean, some are just advice, some are Q&As, some are actual self-tape techniques where I turn the camera around and we're in my studio and walking you through things, so that's a big thing. And, the actors who want to step it up and take it further, a lot of them join I have a monthly membership, the Booking Magnet Academy. And that's like a closed group of actors, very nominal fee, and we have master classes, and we do open Q&As, and then they have their own supportive community. So that's where a bulk of my energy goes when I'm not putting out free content online. It's to my monthly membership and really pouring into those students, because I do feel, Dave, this is just in life. We get the results to the degree in which we invest our time and our energy, and oftentimes our money. And sometimes I'm very aware that some people watch me just because they enjoy the content, and they don't really have a real desire to really do this full time, and that's totally fine. But I do know there are some people who know that they're meant for more, they want more, and so they will invest the time, money, and energy to do the homework, to do the challenges, and those are the ones who see the biggest results. But I totally respect and honor every stage people are in, and I know we all have other things going on in our lives, so. But yeah, just online. And like I said, if you forget any of that, just go to Google and it'll pop up. Yeah.
We live in a Google age.
Oh man, don't we? Absolutely.
You've covered so much good ground, Christine. Is there anything else that you wanted to say to your fans, to anything else that you wanted to talk about?
Yeah, we have covered so much. I think in closing, I would just say, just continue to push for your dreams. Don't give up. Sometimes the hardest voice to battle is your own, to tell you that you're not good enough, you're not worthy. And I'm here to tell you that you are. We all start somewhere. We all start with, a dream, a hope, a wish, and sometimes we don't always have the support from our family or friends, and understand that people are usually operating from fear of what they don't know. So if you have a parent or a spouse or a girlfriend and they just don't see your vision, understand that it's your vision, and just keep pushing and just show up. And no matter what you do, no matter how small, if you take one step each day, you'll be closer in 365 days than you were last year. So that's my biggest thing, I think, that I'm most proud of. And I think we talked about this before on or off camera. The biggest thing I'm proud of is just not giving up on myself, because there were so many opportunities to do that. This is an industry where we get told no every day. We're judged every day. Not good enough, not tall enough, not short enough, not fat enough, not skinny enough. And it can really work on your mental. So keep your mental health in check. Keep believing in yourself. You have to be your number one fan. And just keep looking for the joy in life and spread love.
What a powerful message. Christine Horn, thank you so much.
My pleasure.
Appreciate your time so much, and we are among your biggest fans, and we'll continue to root for you and watch you.
Thank you